Welcome everybody to Convention Horror Stories. Although it seems to be slowly shifting into Anna just going and increasing the cult following. You want to talk about your cat?
Yeah, I want to talk about my cat. His name is Tugboat. He's a gray tabby, and he's the best little boy that you've ever met, but also he's a menace, and I'm gonna love him forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call the starting of your Convention Horror Story.
I'm co-opting this panel. I'm locking the doors, and we're gonna start a slideshow about my cat.
We don't have the projector. No projector.
Hey guys, I'm worried that the cat panel is more popular than I'm really worried about that, guys.
Anyway, real talk. Welcome everybody to Convention Horror Stories, brought to you by us, the Sakura Rangers. You may also go notice a couple of others that have opted not to go and speak on stage for this, mostly because they actually... Yeah, I mean, they... I got a lap.
We got laps up here.
It's not one of those panels, guys. Come on.
I mean, you're just the one making it weird.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, it's okay. I'll duck and dive off stage, and then Patty will appear here, and it'll be like I never left.
You guys are twins.
Yeah.
Anyway, just to go and set some ground rules here, just so there's not any concerns over this. No, we are not going to be talking about any R or X-rated content that has happened to anybody. Actually, I don't think we have any of those stories firsthand.
That's what you...
No,
Nobody on stage.
we're pretty vanilla. It's more about what comes at us with life that has made our scenarios come to life. So, yeah. Anybody want to go first?
You gotta kick this off.
All right.
You got primed and ready for...
Okay. So do we talk about our thankfully not here super dehydrated and sleep deprived member who completely lost his mind during a 3-day convention bender?
Yeah, it's backwards, just like you gotta hit that rave every night, you gotta be up early,
Or do
rules for, you gotta get like at least 6 hours sleep, and
Yep.
Yeah.
Or do we talk about the time that I got concussed by a musical guest? What do you guys want?
Physical injury? Yes.
Okay.
The crowd wants blood.
So, let me give you a little bit of backstory, because oh my god, you want to talk about Convention Horror Stories? I have the Convention from Hell.
This would be more effective if we could dim the lights, but we can't, so.
Yes, unfortunately you guys are getting the Are You Afraid of the Dark experience. Anyway, this is, God, I'm showing my age here, close to a decade ago, at a convention somewhere up north. Roughly about 150 miles if you want to go and do some math on that.
Is that as the crow flies?
Road miles on there.
What a coincidence. I drove 180 miles to get here from the north.
I wonder if you can figure out where that came from. Anyway, 2 weeks before the convention, I was dying of shingles. Technically, it was a 3-week period before we diagnosed it, but I got put on some very strong antibiotics. And that was the first time in my life that I had found myself on such a high dosage of a perfectly reasonable medication to go and deal with the chickenpox virus trying to go and kill me as an adult. Unfortunately, what none of us could have imagined is that it ended up going and messing with my cognitive abilities pretty badly. So I drove 3 people to the convention. I do not remember any of the driving experience, for starters. The only thing that I remember, and God, I wish the projector was here, the only thing that I remember was us stopping at a KFC. And the only reason for that, does anybody remember the KFC Double Down?
Oh yeah.
Yes, that monster, just 2 chicken patties sandwiched over a piece of cheese, wrapped in the thinnest and most grease-covered paper you've ever seen. I remember eating one of those, and that is all I remember. That is it. Okay, it's gone.
So was it good?
I couldn't tell you that part. I just remember eating it. I can't say I remember anything about the experience.
I mean,
But none of it's gonna
it was a KFC double down. What do you think?
Even in a fugue state, your memory is like, no, we got to make this a core memory.
Still so confused. Like I haven't been to a KFC since.
Nor should you.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I was there before one either. So it's like why we ended up there, I have no idea.
Do you think if we brought you a double and put you in a fugue state?
We might need to experiment with this later. Make a whole new convention horror story.
Convention evil science. Sakura Rangers panel. Oh, I've got a story for that. I was just.
So, Friday of that convention, don't remember a darn thing. Saturday at convention, I don't remember most of it. My memory starts very hazily around 7 p.m. on a Saturday night in the hotel room. For some reason, we're watching one of the Justice League animated movies.
Because they slap?
I mean, honestly, yes. It was Crisis on Two Earths. I found out later.
Yeah,
One of my favorites.
yeah.
Yeah, highly recommended. Not while you're on antibiotics, though. That's not a great time.
I can't imagine DC on antibiotics.
Yeah, no, it's an experience on there. It's just like Lex Luthor's a good guy.
Everything I know is wrong.
Evil Wonder Woman's hot. Why is James Wood playing Batman with an owl helmet? I don't understand what's going on right now. Once again, antibiotics and DC do not mix. So, we're getting ready for a show, and this is a big one. They've got Dazzle Vision and High and Mighty Color at this convention. Don't even know if those bands still tour anymore.
Oh my god, you're so old.
I know. It's like,
Can't.
yeah, no, High and Mighty Color, I believe that was the second Bleach opening, if I'm not mistaken. Tyler, fact check me on that.
Yeah, I'll do that later.
Yeah, we're an honest group here when it comes to what happens.
It's because we like information deep dives.
Yeah.
Don't let them fool you.
So I remember us watching that. I also remember Domo-kun and Great Ape Saiyan Vegeta walking into the hotel room with a friend that we'll be talking about later in a completely unrelated story. And then going down to the convention center and getting in line for like an hour to get into the actual concert itself. Get in. There's no seats where we went. We just went straight to the mosh pit up front. Dazzle Vision comes out. It's awesome. Great show. I remember the lights very vividly. Cannot remember a damn thing that they actually played, though. Not even sure there were actually people there now that I'm thinking more and more about it. My memory's
In the
really...
bathroom, bro.
Honestly, if somebody told... I'm not even joking. At this point in the story, if somebody told me that, I would believe them. I really have no good recollection of any of this stuff. Some of this has been pieced back together by the people that were with me. But then we get to the main event. High and Mighty Color. They're going and playing that Bleach opening. It's great. Show is going on, enjoying it. I think I'm starting to stir a little bit at this point. Like the music is just coursing through me and slowly bringing back that brain activity. The synapses are firing. 1, 2, 3. It's still slow, but I mean, at least my brain was working for a minute. And then my memory gets very vivid. Guitar solo starts. The bassist puts down his guitar into the upright holder. I see him come out to the front of the stage. A small railing separating him from the crowd. He stands on the railing. And I just remember thinking to myself, well, that's weird. And then I see his feet leave the rail. He begins to ascend like Christ into the sky. It felt like he went up a mile, but it was probably only a few inches. And I start seeing him come closer to me. And my brain at this point is just trying to process, what is happening? And it gets closer. What is he doing? He's now perfectly parallel to the floor. Huh. At this point, he's maybe 18 inches from me. And at this point, I start thinking to myself, he wouldn't. He's a foot away. He couldn't. He's maybe 6 inches away from my head. He is falling to earth like Icarus after the wings have melted. This is it. This is the moment. And the only thing that goes through my brain, oh shit! As we make forehead to forehead contact. And at this point, everybody in front of me is getting hit with his legs, his body.
Oh my God.
We're all a whole bunch of anime nerds. It's like 2009. I don't actually remember the year, but maybe it was 2009, 2010.
Nobody was hitting the gym.
Yeah, they broke up in 2010, so it has to be before that.
Okay, so it was 2009. Okay, good.
That's a good time.
Yeah, my memory's not totally fried on there. Here, so, we're a bunch of nerds in 2009. At this point, the culture had not fully managed to go and incorporate the mosh pit culture. We hadn't really found ourselves on where we nerds were going out and just being able to enjoy a good metal show or anything like that. No, that guy landed on top of bodies, and we were all just struggling to stay upright. I was wearing a hat, apparently. Do not remember putting it on. Do not remember owning it. Have absolutely no idea where it came from.
Someone put it on you in the bathroom.
Maybe? Once again, have no idea when this had gone on me, but it is gone at this point. I am being propelled into Domo-kun behind me, and Great Saiyan Ape Vegeta are the only things going and holding back like 4 people that are now pressed on my chest, including the freaking bassist whose forehead is still connected to mine. It feels like a struggle. We're all just trying to go and keep it up. It was probably only like 2 seconds, but my God, it felt like we were fighting for an hour to go and get this guy back up. Eventually, we go and feel it. Great Saiyan Ape Vegeta. He goes all in. He's going Super Saiyan. He pushes all of us forward as we all lurch and throw him back on stage. At this point, everybody's confused. The solo is now getting very shaky because I think he realized on what the heck had just happened. Everyone in the crowd is going quiet, and I find the hat back on me somehow or another. And my friend DJ next to me just looks and is like, "Are you okay?" And I paused for a second. I don't know if there was any music. I don't know what happened. I just screamed, "Let's effing go!" And my brain was on fire the rest of the weekend. I remember every detail. All I know is I can remember every single detail that happened then. I can go and tell you exactly on what was wrong with that McDonald's Big Mac that another friend went and ordered the next day. I can go and tell you on...
Wrong with it? Was it a McDonald's Big Mac?
I mean, that was one thing. Yes, you're not
You
wrong.
open the bag and you open the wrapper and you're like, damn, this is a McDonald's Big Mac. That's the problem.
Yeah, no onions were ordered. That was the only thing that was on it. Yeah, they really screwed that one up.
Now, when you say it's the only thing, as in Sam's Burger, Sam's Burger just onions.
Okay, you're right. There was beef there. You are correct. There was beef, onion, and a couple of buns.
Incredible.
Yeah, no, absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, that's the time that I probably should have died on the way to con. Probably had horrible things happen to me during the first part of con, and probably should have died from brain hemorrhaging at con.
God had it out for you that weekend.
Yeah.
And then you were, and then you said, "Let's go!" I have sent my only son, the bassist,
You didn't sound like Christ.
to redeem me, to kick your head and get your brain back. I think that's actually like cured your shingles.
You know what? Maybe. Maybe.
You were like punched the computer and it just started working again.
Yeah,
That was what happened.
Did to you.
Yeah, no, literally. Like
The almighty reboot.
Yeah, my last tablet that I had to go and take was that morning. Didn't have to go and do anything else, so I don't know if I just managed to go and work through the stuff at that point, or if it was the bassist hitting me. We all know it's the bassist hitting me. It was definitely the bassist, you know.
This is not a medical panel. Don't do that. We are not.
The doctor told me to do it.
Bassist forehead to face.
It's not a script.
Bassist applied directly to the forehead.
God help me. All right, who wants the next one? That is my first of the convention horror stories.
I'll go next. Mine's pretty short.
Okay.
Hi, Cos.
Hi cosplayers, this one's for you. I was a wee little baby cosplayer, and I had spent literally weeks making big, beautiful wings. Not beautiful now, they were like hand cut out with foam, put together with like popsicle sticks. So it was like my very first big costume, and I wasn't very smart. It was Good Omens. It was back in the day when it was just a book, and I'm very excited now that it is a huge thing, but I was a Xeraphale. And I had big, beautiful wings, and my Crowley had big, beautiful wings that I had handmade. And we went into the dealer's hall. that was my first mistake. And I was doing pretty good because they did fold in, so I was kind of like cuddled in my little wing set. And I was walking through the dealer's hall, and someone asked us for a picture. And so we let the wings go, and we stood up. And somebody came between us, ducked under my wing, did not clear it. Snapped it clear off. And I don't, like, if you've ever had a moment where like music starts playing and it's like, I fell to my knees and I just like held it in my hand, and they got several pictures of that, of me just holding and like crying. I started crying and I was like, this is happening to me. I can't. And my Crowley literally looked down at me and was like, take them both off and get over it. And I was like, okay. And then I took my wings off and it was fine.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. You want to go?
I got a cosplay story too. But
I've got another cosplay story.
Okay.
The one I mentioned earlier.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors? Okay.
Okay, ready?
To the death.
Paper, scissors.
Oh, I thought we were going.
Oh, okay. On four then? On
yeah,
four?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Got
You
it.
guys went on 3.
Yeah, right.
Listen, man. Don't question it.
We just had to sync our brains up by having some kind of conversation, and then we got it.
This is a misinformation panel.
Okay. Mine's got the moral of the story. I'll just tell you now. If you ever like order a cosplay, you gotta real order it ahead of time because sometimes they do not come in time. So with our group, how it actually we all met is because we all just ended up. That's another story. Another story for another time. We all ended up in cosplay chest as Power Rangers together, all Power Ranger outfits.
They didn't know each other.
Yeah,
We didn't know each other.
Applied at the same time.
Yeah, just applied at the same time, and they're like, hey, a bunch of Power Rangers are playing. They must be friends. Put them together.
Put them together.
That's a story for another time. Because it's even weirder because the year before is when we ordered my friend and I, not him, not her, someone else who's not here.
This guy.
There's a third guy here.
Love that guy.
He's a character. We ordered costumes for Power Rangers because we were like, oh, we're going to cons. We just getting into cosplay and still learning to make stuff. So we're like, we want a nice cosplay that someone knows how to make so that we can wear that while we work on our other cosplays that aren't as good and can get better. So we order it, and back then things took time. It was like 3 months, I think. So we ordered them. Oh boy, we ordered them like 6 months in advance.
Back in the day too.
Back in the day. All our stories are back in the day. So we ordered them way in advance because we're like, oh, we want to have them. And then we're waiting, and we're like, okay, they're taking a while, but this is how it is back in the day. It's someone just in a basement
4 or 5
somewhere.
months
Yeah,
to
it
get
takes a
cosplay
while.
then.
So, and it was kind of like just waiting for the costumes and nothing, and we're like, oh, it's getting kind of close to con. We should maybe find out when they're in, and then we hear, oh, they've been shipped. Great, fantastic. We got lots of time. And then that's when the postal service was not as great. And then we're sitting there just waiting. And it's a case of, okay, con's in like 3 days here. I guess this is the con crunch experience, even when you are prepared to have not a con crunch experience, sometimes it can just come at you out of nowhere. So we're speed building a con, doing all that, make a costume, sew it up, and then we're on the plane. I fly here, so we're on a plane waiting, and then my friend is just like, oh, I got an email, a call from his dad, and he said, oh yeah, your costumes are here. We're on a flight taking off, going like, oh, well, that's nice. But weirdly, that meant, again, God is out there doing something or some other being, because that made us postpone that costume until next year, where we then all applied at once, different people for cosplay chess, and they didn't know who we are. They just, okay, we'll just put these people together.
It gets really freaky too, because it was all within the course of like an hour that all those applications came in too.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. We should not know each other.
Yeah, which goes into the next little story of us having all our costumes, as we were like, oh, let's go do cosplay chess next year, because now we have our Power Ranger costume. We apply all at the same time, and then we get an email for exception to get into cosplay chess. This is actually at Sakuracon, not here, just to set the stage. And we have an email, and we go, oh, cool. And then on the email list is just some other people's names and our names, just kind of all mixed together. And we're like, who are these people? This is, I don't know, a Red Ranger, a Blue Ranger? Okay, I guess this is just how it is. This is our first year doing cosplay chess, so we'll just do it.
Together and they're like, good job!
Yeah. On the other end of this email, my friend Rob here is, he tells me, he goes, oh no, who are these people with these weird, long last names?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is basically the thought pattern. See everything on here. There's 3 other names on this. Have no idea who these guys are. Recognize one of the names sort of, because at the time he was part of a pretty popular cosplay crew. Reached out to him and it's just like, so did I just get roped in with you? Do you know these guys? I have absolutely no idea. And then we're looking at it, it's just like, oh God, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Oh no. Like, I don't want to think that this could be a major problem here, but are we sure they even speak English? Are you multilingual or anything? I have no idea where these guys are from. The spelling looks very...
From the far-off land of Canada.
Did not know where they were from at the time. The names looked incredibly Slavic,
Very
and I had had a
Slavic
bad
names.
experience with a guy in a cosplay contest many years ago that I was helping run that could not speak a word of English on there. It's just like I'm having flashbacks to that. It's like, oh God, what if they don't speak English?
Hello, fellow cosplayer, it is me.
God, I wish that was the experience.
Yeah,
I'm
so...
a Power Ranger.
I am Power Ranger, hello. So it is, yeah, the case of sometimes it's blessings in disguise, because we wouldn't be sitting up here if that never happened, but it is a case of like sometimes things that are bad and seem just out of control and you can't control and you just can adapt, and then all of a sudden it's weird fate that's moving everything and it's creepy and I don't know.
This horror story has a wholesome ending.
Yeah, it's technically our backstory.
That's technically our backstory. You guys got that one for
Which is
free.
a horror
It is a horror story because that's what
Yeah.
led us to all be dressed up as Waluigi today, and that's a horror in itself.
So this all happened because a package showed up the day we left, and then we all
Instead of the day
applied at the
before.
same time.
Dang.
Anime origin story.
It
Did
is.
you not realize it?
Yeah.
We all have crazy colored hair, of course.
Crazy colored hair right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're the only one.
Yeah, 2 years ago I had no hair, so, you know, I can't really participate anymore.
I shaved my head to the 11 recently, so my hair's beautiful and lovely and healthy.
So
That's our origin story, and I guess even if you're prepared, you're not prepared.
something now? Are we doing this now?
Back. Cool.
Yeah, I gotta be backwards and cool. I got a little unicorn horn.
As it is forward.
You got a cosplay story now.
Yeah, I got a little cosplay story. So this was back in the day, before my sister and I stopped cosplaying from Harry Potter because we don't mess with turfs. Anyway, you know, just in general. But this wasn't even really a proper. This is not a proper Harry Potter cosplay. We were. This was what, 2014? Something like that.
Don't ask me, baby girl.
Something like that, yeah. Somewhere around there, and we were cosplaying from Harry Potter musical. And it was a Sunday, and we put these together just out of stuff we had in our closet, us and our friend. And we were like, it doesn't matter how bad these are, because who's gonna judge us? On a Sunday? I'm carrying around a ukulele and wearing the worst hairy wig ever created? I am not, like, I'm just here to have a good time and vibe and play silly covers because I'm pretending to be Darren Criss. And we're out, this was at Sakuracon, and so we're out in like the park area at the old con center, the now old con center.
Rest in peace.
And we're sitting outside, and we're just all sort of sitting in a group, we're vibing, we've, got some other friends we're chatting with, and this person walks up to me and looks me in the eye, and it's just like, now, to be clear, I was wearing plastic
I think they
glasses.
were 3D glasses with the.
3D glasses with the lenses popped out for Harry's glasses.
It was 2014.
It was 2014, that was what everybody
Like
did.
the movie theater ones?
Yeah, the movie theater ones,
Yeah.
baby. Big, thick glasses. And,
The real dude.
which is whatever. Like, those were the glasses we had. Those were the fake glasses we had. And this person walks up to me and just sort of looks me in the eye and is like, Harry's glasses are wire rim. And I'm sitting there quite literally with a bag of Funyuns and a ukulele and the worst wig of my life. And I was like, and I have no idea. My friends are not paying attention. They heard this story after because they were talking to somebody else. And I just tried to be like, it's okay. It's all good. And she stood in front of me and was like, and I don't know if she expected me to fix it.
Right now.
Because I don't know. I don't know if she expected me to suddenly be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I left my wire rim glasses. They're in my bag here. Anyway, the moral of this story is don't do that. Like, if you see somebody just vibing with a bag of Funyuns and a ukulele, plastic glasses, and the worst wig of their life, and like having a good time, why would you correct their costume? Like, it's very funny to me now, because at the time I was just trying to like laugh it off and be like, yeah, woo! Keep moving, please. God, stop staring at me. What do you want me to do? I am not magic. Perform, clown. Change your cosplay for me. But yeah, so that's one of my horror stories, and then I'm gonna tap out here because I think Patty's got a good one about a fugue state.
Go.
This is one of my favorite stories.
You need to be up here because I don't remember most of it.
Oh, right. allow me to provide some. Once upon a time.
Oh, go on.
Thank you. Once upon a time, we were attending Rose City Comic Con. And as with many of our stories, this occurs on a Sunday. And myself and actually the friend who was...
The same friend who was Harry Potter
who was
musicaling with
in
us.
our Harry Potter musical group decided... So backstory to this backstory is we have an older brother who once upon a time drunk ordered a costume off of Amazon. He's not a cosplayer.
He just wanted it.
If you're familiar with the FX show Wilfred, the dog costume, the one with a full-grown man wearing a dog costume.
And Elijah Wood.
We were cosplaying from
good.
that.
Watch it.
We were cosplaying from that because we could. I was the dog. And also, notably, the costume, because again, our older brother ordered it.
He's 6'4".
He's 6'4". I was wearing 6-inch platform, stomping boots. In order to allow myself the height the costume required. And because it was a fun day Sunday, I was wearing fishnets. And because it's a fleece sort of fur costume that's basically a kigurumi. The pants were kind of up to here.
So you can see the
So
really
you could
big
see the
platform
really
boots.
big platform boots and the fishnets underneath it. I was a look. I also had fake beard stubble because I was supposed to be a grown man wearing a dog costume. In any case, we were very tired. At this Rose City Comic Con, 5 Hour Energy had a booth. And they were giving out free 5 Hour Energies. Now, before I continue, you need to know I don't drink coffee because coffee is too much caffeine for me and it makes me jittery. My dearest friend D, who is my platonic husband, God bless him, gone but not forgotten, he's in Florida. He and I decided that we were going to pop these 5 Hour Energies.
They literally did the like arm looping.
Yeah, if you're familiar with how people like drink like a toast at their wedding, we linked our arms together and drank them, which I think was some kind of spell.
It was a ritual.
It was a ritual that we completed, and I don't remember most of the rest of that day after that occurrence. So I will pass this over to somebody who was running away from me. So during this happening, I was dressed as Mulder from X-Files, and our other friend was dressed as Scully. And the aura coming off the Wilfred crew was such that we were like, we do not want to be around them right now. We don't know what they're going to do, and we cannot control them. It should also be noted that D did, because they had the beer garden at Rose City, so our friend D did have a full beer and then pop the 5 Hour Energy. Not a lot of food, don't do that. So then, me and my other friend, we're walking through, and as we're going through in a very orderly fashion through like Artist Alley, and sort of as we go, we feel like we're in like witness protection, because I'll be like standing at a booth looking at stuff, and my friend is like standing at my shoulder, like looking around, and then being like, okay, we have to keep moving. We don't want them catching up with us. What we did not know, and what we learned later, was that they were wildly weaving through the booths at no order whatsoever. At one point, they sprinted up to us to give us some information, and I don't remember what it was.
Neither do I.
Neither does she, so...
The panic response set in.
It honestly, they sprinted up to us, and they were like, oh my god. And we were
Animal
like,
Crossing.
yeah, it was very much like an Animal Crossing. And we were like, what are they doing? And I can't possibly tell you what they were actually doing the entire time. I distinctly remember, I do also distinctly remember at one point, right before we left, we sat down for a little break, and Patty takes off the big stomping shoes, and Dee looks at them and goes, I want to put those on. And I was like, with your weak ankles? In your current state of sort of like 5 Hour Energy beer? Okay.
So to answer your question of what we were doing in the vendor hall / Artist Alley, we were doing fun times. I couldn't tell you.
We had a good time.
We had a good time.
So anyway,
Couldn't tell
so
you what we did.
I distinctly remember Dee getting the shoes on, and then standing, and like I was like standing next to him, and like he's like wobbling, and I was like, you should sit back down, honey. You should sit back down, and then we can go. and we can get some food. And both of them went, yes, food! It was like being in charge of a like bridal shower a little bit, because they're just, yeah, food!
What, you mean a bachelorette party?
Bachelorette party, yeah, sure, whatever it is.
You've never been to a bridal shower then, because obviously that's still how it is.
Yeah. Anyway, so I can hop back in now at this point.
yeah,
So at this point, we left the convention center. It's still, I really couldn't tell you sort of what we did on that day, or where we went, or
It should also be
who
noted
we spoke to.
I'm the de facto driver. When it was the three of us, I was always the de facto driver. We took my car, and I'm driving, so I can't look for food with the little Google. So I'm sitting there and I'm starting to get hangry. And I was like, and both of them, they are out in space. And our other friend had already gone home. And they are out in space. They are like trying, and I was sitting there and I was like, if somebody doesn't choose a food location and put it in the GPS in the next 30 seconds, I am going to pull the car over and I am going to find something, and I can't promise you two will be in the vehicle when I start driving again. I was done. I was at my limit.
I couldn't tell you what happened when this occurred because I thought everything was fine.
And they were having they thought this was hilarious how mad I was.
It was very funny.
And then they finally go, Red Lobster, cheddar-baked biscuits. I don't think I've ever willingly entered a Red Lobster. But the two of them, it was the only thing that they would agree
wanted the
on.
biscuits.
They wanted cheddar-baked biscuits. And I'm like, fine, put it in the GPS. Get us there. Get it. Freaking go. So we get to the Red Lobster. And we park and we go inside and we get our seats. And I'm like, okay, I'd gone into the Red Lobster and I'm like, oh, it's colder in here than I thought because Red Lobster sucks. So
you left the table to go
I left the table to go
grab
back to the car to grab my jacket.
And that's where the story picks up again.
Are you guys still in costume?
Yeah.
No.
The dog costume is no longer on. I did not wear the dog costume into the Red Lobster, though I wish I had.
So, you leave. Dee and I are sat across from each other at this table. And I have not experienced anything like this since, which is probably good. But for a hot second, it felt like suddenly I was re-entering the orbit of the Earth. It was like everything slowed down and I could feel the Earth turning beneath me. And suddenly, and notably, when this happened, my face sort of picked up and Dee and I looked directly into each other's eyes, and I knew in that moment through our soul bond that he was experiencing the same exact thing as me, as we both sort of re-entered time. And it suddenly slowed down and we were suddenly like in the world again.
Salient once more.
Yeah, and we both just started laughing ridiculously.
I believe
because
Dee made a noise.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a noise made. I couldn't recreate it. And then I was like, "Did you feel that?" And he was like, "Yeah." And we were laughing.
And that's when I
re-enter. And that's when Anna re-enters.
And I'm still steamed at them.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can't believe we're at Red Lobster. Because you two couldn't like come to an agreement. And I get back to the table and they're both like hysterical. They are like almost like they're both collapsed to the side in the booth.
Yeah.
And I was like, what happened? And they were like, your third eye isn't wide enough open. Essentially, they were like, we could not begin to explain to you what just happened. Have you ever felt like you've re-entered time? Have you ever felt like the entire world went boom, 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 boom? And and then you were like stuck sitting in a Red Lobster. Have you ever awoken to find yourself in a Red Lobster? Have you ever awoken? Because that's where my next D&D campaign is starting.
In a Red Lobster. 2 crabs.
2 crabs. And so that was that. And again, I'm pretty sure I've literally had 5-hour energy since then, and it's not been the same experience.
It was the first 5 hours.
It was. I experienced the 5 hours, like the platonic ideal of the 5 hours. The one on the bottle. They experienced the 5 hours. Yeah. We got the ones with the 5 hours in it. Because I think we timed it. Yeah, and we realized that we literally looked at the timestamps. They weren't lying. They do not lie on those almost exactly to the minute 5 hours from when we drank the 5-hour energy. And the final sort of follow-up to this is a few years ago at Kumoricon. The two of us were in late night cosplay chess. And Anna, I took a 5-hour energy for the first time. Apparently it's the first one. Yeah, it's always the first one. And here's the thing, I didn't enter quite the manic fugue state, but that's because I was dressed as Batgirl and not Wilfred. Like, I'm sorry, my girl...
Character enlightenment.
Like, my girl is way too buttoned up. She's like, no. I'm not gonna... But after, we finished late night chess, and it's like 2, almost 3 in the morning, and we're heading back to the hotel, and I was like keyed up. I was like, I feel pretty good. I think I'm gonna shower before we go to bed, because like this Batgirl suit is sweaty as heck. And I was like, I've still got energy. We good. And we got back to the hotel. I showered real quick, and then like there was nothing like post shower standing in front of a hotel mirror and then experiencing exactly that. Re-entering time, and then suddenly feeling all 5 hours worth of exhaustion hit you like a truck. Yeah. And then it's just, and I was standing there, and I think I stepped out, and I'm like, I've still got like half my like makeup. I think you stepped out where I was like lying on the bed. I stepped out and I was like, do you remember Red Lobster? Because I think I just felt it. Anyway, this is not sponsored by 5-Hour Energy. And this is, again, not a medical panel. We do not recommend bases to apply directly to the forehead. We do not recommend...
So you don't.
we do not recommend beer and a 5-hour energy. I do. Through the I work in the medical field. No, you don't. She works at a pharmacy. She has no medical degree. To be clear.
I also work in the medical field. I support.
We need a disclaimer, a really big disclaimer. The projector doesn't work. Oh well. Oh no. You guys are gonna have to take the word for it. Oh no.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm done.
Red Lobster.
Okay.
Red Lobster.
We got time for at least one more, so I'm gonna leave this up to the audience. Do you want to hear about the member of our group who's not here to defend himself and going on a 4-night con bender? Or
not recommended by this panel.
do we want to hear on how a friend of mine cost me over $1,000 in a convention and is now going and paying that debt off to me a decade later as my secretary?
Oh my god.
Bender!
All right. So,
Wait, who's in Tugboat? Who's in Tugboat?
Later, connect with me.
all right. I want just a show of hands here. Who wants the con bender? Hands up. Okay. Who wants the friend that cost me money? I think we're going with the con bender, guys. You'll have to come back next year to hear that story. All right. So, Do I dox this individual right now?
No.
Oh.
We don't dox each other.
Well, no, because his name's like an initials. It's not his name, and it's what we call. He's got a nickname. So
Yeah,
you
it's a
say-
nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Just
Fish
don't
Guy.
say his
We can just call it Fish Guy.
Do not say his full name.
Yeah.
Fishman McGee.
I already did. He's Fish Guy. I don't know his actual name. That's what everybody calls him.
He was born of sea foam and seaweed and
There was a lot of sea things involved there.
yes, a lot. Yeah.
It's okay. We're going to talk about the marine world and all that stuff after this panel. That's in the next panel. So, our friend Fish Guy. He's a sweet dude. He really is. Met him in college. Went to conventions with him a lot. This particular year, this is pre-Sakura Rangers, before everything got started. We're just a whole bunch of college friends. We get a couple of hotel rooms. Ready to go. This is his third convention. And his first one since turning 21.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling first time I've turned 21. Oof.
So,
Terrible decisions incoming.
oh, this is a cautionary tale. Actually, Tyler, go and pull up our old podcast doc that's got the rules of con in there, because this is where it all came from. So, we're going to the convention. We got it broken up into 3 hotel rooms. That part's all pretty mundane. One of our friends, who I kid you not, we have not seen since this convention. His nickname was
What did you do to him?
nothing. It was nature that did it to him. His nickname in college was Killface. That's an incredibly long story we don't have time for.
Has to do with a cow.
You do know that part.
I do know it.
The cow is mission capable. Ask me later about that one. Once again, we do not have time to get into all of Killface's antics. Anyway, he went and booked the room that our friend Fish Guy and a couple of our friends who had just started dating a couple of weeks beforehand were all staying in. He took care of the bills and all that stuff. Just really nice guy. Love him, miss him, have absolutely no idea what happened to him. Well, he went to the convention, and especially post-COVID, we can go and say this is a real thing. But back then, you just didn't think so much about this. He was dying of something, probably the flu, not entirely sure. So he never actually even made it to badge pickup. He went to sleep that Thursday and did not get out of the bed the entire time other than to go to the bathroom. We have 2 sightings where we know that he actually went and got out of the bed. Otherwise, I think we would have assumed he was dead. Well, the other person we can't really account for most of it is Fish Guy. He decided on that Thursday night to go out drinking with some other con buddies that he had made the year beforehand. And they got drunk and high and all the things that are against terms of service here at this convention, you know, in the actual con space. So he's gone Thursday. We see him sporadically on Friday. Talked to him a couple of times. He didn't sleep the night beforehand. He didn't go back to the hotel room at all, other than to change outfits.
I've stayed with Fish Guy once.
Yeah.
And it was similar situation.
Yeah.
Night in, night out.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, Fish Guy is still alive and he's doing much better, but he was,
Youth.
yeah, we'll blame it on the youth. Anyway.
You would think.
We're still not sure
Find
exactly.
somewhere to go, baby.
Yeah, it was an
You have to go
experience.
home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah. Well, that was actually back in the days where Sakuracon, the main convention center, was open 24 hours, and they did not have security roaming the halls at that point, so it was not uncommon to go and see convention goers just falling asleep against a wall or something like that, and just...
I've slept in a con hallway before.
Yeah. No, it was not that uncommon back then. This was seriously, 2007 or 2008.
I've got the rules, and I believe this is the no reliving the snowstorm of 2008.
That's it. Okay, yes, that's it.
In the rules.
That is it, yes, because there was a snowstorm in April in 2008 at Sakuracon. Yes. Oh, thank you. So, we find out that he hasn't slept at all on Friday. See him sporadically. He seems to be doing okay. He's gone. whatever. There's a rave that night. We see him there, and he is doing all of the wild motions, the gyrations. He's got glow sticks. We don't know where they came from. We don't know they were coming out of him. They were just falling all over the place. It's like, okay, you party fish guy.
The glow sticks.
Yeah, he absolutely was. Because he does not remember where he got them either.
He got them in the bathroom. The one where you were trapped.
Everything comes back to the bathroom.
Yeah. Saturday comes around. Nobody's able to confirm the fact that he went back to the hotel room at all.
Oh.
So at this point, he's just gone. Run into him Saturday, ask him how everything's going. He's looking pretty worn down at this point. And he's going and popping a 5-hour energy.
At this point, sponsor us.
Astoundingly.
I didn't realize we had this many 5-hour energy
I
stories.
think that we should do a 5-hour energy. Like, we should tap them and be like,
Yeah.
hey.
I don't think they'd appreciate us talking
Oh,
about
absolutely
people
not.
all the time
Well,
into a fugue state.
Especially since the only reason I remember the 5-hour energy is because I asked him, where did you get that? Because, like,
They appear when they are needed.
but like, there was no convenience stores around the convention center in Seattle at the time. The city Target had not opened at that
Listen,
point.
somebody that he met had a freaking crate of them. I guarantee
Oh,
you.
I'm sure of that much. He didn't remember where he got it. At this point, we're actually starting to worry. Like, the first day, okay,
Yeah.
you know, maybe they just didn't run into each other or anything. We can't ask Killface for information. He's been comatose for the better part of 2 days at this point. It's not good. Things are just not good. We're starting to get worried. We're asking, hey, can we do anything for you? Have you eaten? Have you done anything like that? It's like, oh yeah, no. We took a ride down to Fremont and got a fat burger. It's like, I didn't even realize we had fat burgers in Washington. Turns out he actually was right about that, but I did not believe him at the time. I thought he was starting to hallucinate. So, Saturday goes by. We lost him again. We saw him at the rave. He's being even more wild and even more glow sticks evaporated. Nobody can go and explain it. At some point, he ended up on the stage with the DJ. It was surreal to watch happen. And now we get to Sunday morning. And I get to hear from the couple that had just gotten together a couple of weeks beforehand that were in his room. We have confirmed the fact that he did go back to the hotel room around 1:30 in the morning. Because they were starting to get a little intimate, and then he busted into the room like a freaking elephant. Like, they're convinced he kicked down the door and that there was no key card or anything like that was used. Just bang, door flies open, walks in, sits at the edge of the bed. Our friend's got his legs splayed. He's trying not to go and get caught in this situation. And DJ just sits there
Fish guy.
for like, sorry, yes, fish guy. Sorry, yes, right. I knew it was going to happen at some point. Fish guy's just sitting there. And they're terrified of getting caught. How do they go and explain this?
Yes.
Killface is in the other bed, still dying. Making wheezing noises.
Wait, they were
Yes!
dying? Okay, hold on, quick poll. How many of you would if your friend was dying in the other bed? Raise your hand. I expect that of you.
How was he?
Like, it sounds like he was near comatose.
Yeah, no, he was...
Question actually.
Yeah.
Killface went down on Thursday,
Yes.
and he came back on Sunday.
No.
All our stories end on Sunday, too. What is this?
Oh dear God, there's some implications, guys. We might need to go talk after this. Anybody want to go to church? I'm starting to feel like there's a religious experience going on here.
No, thank you.
We were having
Not to an organized one.
No, don't worry. We're gonna start our own. We're
Yeah.
gonna start our own. We don't need to go to church. We
the
can
Church
start
of
our own.
Law.
Church
Yeah.
of
Anyway,
Law.
so DJ has paused at this point.
Fish guy.
Sorry, yes, fish guy.
It's
Fish
over
guy.
already.
I've told this story so many times, I can't go and help myself. He's sitting at the edge of bed, and he's stuck there for like 5 minutes. Not moving. Not doing anything.
He's probably coming back into time.
Did you feel Red Lobster?
Then he immediately bolts into the corner, grabs a Gatorade from this big stash that they had built up in the room, and flies out of the room. Not a word, no pausing, just up, bolts away again.
Did he shower? At least, no, he didn't shower for any of the things.
Well, we don't know that for a fact.
We have no confirmation of
We have no proof.
He probably showers in the sea itself.
It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me.
Just a quick.
I do know at some point he did go fishing during that weekend.
He's a fish guy.
The man lives on the sea. The name is not an insult, it's just what he is.
Just what he is.
So they think they're fine. And they get back to the intimate. And not a minute later, DJ busts back in just the same way, throws his shoes, grabs other shoes, wires up, and walks out again. At that point, nothing was happening anymore.
Listen, comedy rule of threes, man. You don't risk it.
So I'm hearing about this Sunday morning when everybody's getting checked out of what at the time was the Red Lion, now known as, I think it was, what is it, Motif?
I can't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay, it's something like that. There's a great pub underneath it. That's the only reason anybody even knows this hotel anymore anyway. But I have to go and bring this up. There's not a bathroom in the lobby of this place. There is a bathroom in the restaurant down below that you can access, or there's the ones in the hotel rooms. There is not one in the lobby of this hotel. Well, we run into Fish Guy as we're getting stuff checked out and brought out to the car. It's just like, hey dude, how are you doing? It's just like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. Just, at this point he goes and tells us that he hasn't slept at all the entire weekend. He's just been out going crazy, drinking, partying, meeting people he cannot identify a single one anymore. Yeah, just gone. He's been completely lost to the world for the last 3 days, does not remember hardly anything from the convention. He has pushed himself to his limits. Now, what I did not realize in this moment, when I was asking him about this, it was like, oh dude, I just had the weirdest experience. I went and saw the little man from the restroom sign just walk off of it across the wall to the ladies' restroom and start dancing with her. It's just like, dude, you need to go and get the freak to sleep, okay? Later on, we realized there's not a lobby, or there's not a restaurant or a restroom in the lobby.
Oh no.
He was staring at a wall when that happened. He admitted that he had peed in that bathroom. We don't know where he did it. But he was so zonked out, he thought that happened.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And that, he is still alive. He is actually doing very well now. He is off the alcohol.
Against all odds, he is alive.
These are just our survivor stories at this point.
Pretty much. But between that and a whole bunch of other things that happened that weekend, we actually set up a rules of convention etiquette for anybody that stayed in our hotel rooms. Yeah.
Yeah. I can say it. They're pretty simple. You're going to hear them and go, yeah, that makes sense. That's why we have those. But it's because...
Some of them are not.
Yeah, like things like never brandish a weapon at people, always ask before taking a picture, sleep every night. We have 5 hours minimum recommended, so
Yeah, it's like
I'd
if
always
you-
bump that to 6 now.
Yeah, no. You should realistically, but it's like if you want to go and do the parties, the raves, all that kind of stuff, it's just like, dude, at least give yourself 5 freaking hours, okay?
What else I got here? Stay well nourished. Food and water. Just typical stuff. No con funk. That's showering. No excessive PDA.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Do me
we.
a favor and nudge that man right there.
We're sharing a hotel room with these fools.
Never spend food or transportation money on junk. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, we had to go and give somebody a ride.
Yeah, that also has to do with the owing you $1,000 kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Don't overconsume. which is, I guess, it only takes a 5-hour energy drink from what I hear.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting at. We wrote that for drugs, but we've learned otherwise.
It only takes one.
The first one has the 5 hours in it.
Yeah. All the other ones really do not have the 5 hours in it. It's only the first one you drink.
Don't be careful around other people's costumes. And then rule number 10, keep it in your pants when sharing rooms. Yeah. And then, oh no, keep unsolicited religious and political talk. We've been talking about religion for a while.
Well, I mean, we learned that Killface might be the second coming of Christ here, so, you know, there's some things we can't admit.
Wait a minute. We haven't seen him since.
Oh no. Guys, I got bad news. The rapture happened.
But just to Killface.
And of course,
Stuck here.
The second coming of Killface is coming.
and the last rule is, of course, have fun. Just have fun. Yeah.
And on that note, we're out of time, so thank you everybody for joining us. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to leave a rating on the guidebook app. That goes and helps to let the convention goers know. Yeah, there's also the feedback forms back there. Yep.
And if you want an 18+ con horror stories.
Yeah, because there's some details we left off.
We have other stories that are also like that as well.
We've
Yeah.
been in this game a little too long.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Have a great con.